sexual situations and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it, baby. I know it, and so do you. It does not matter who sits here. Let's forget about the corporate bullshit. Anyways, today is Thursday, July the 21st of 2022, day 202 of the year in only 160 days, 163 days. I guess I'm just going to cut the year short by 3 years, or by 3 days. Wow, I can't even speak this morning. Anyways, how are you? It's been it's been a hot minute. Yeah, so what happened yesterday? Well, you got the run of the so you got a little rerun action from March the 16th of 2021. The question might be asked right away, where the hell was I? Well, I was out in a little town in Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska. That's exactly what I said. So had to vanish for a day, but we are back here right now. So that's the important part, that you and I get to hang out and talk about all the fun stuff that is going on inside of this world. Anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Oh, yes, hanging out with our friends at Radio Big, doing all the stuff that they do and all that kind of fun stuff. Some people always wonder, what the hell's going on over there? Well, that is the music side of the house. So what does that mean? If you are listening to our shows on Safety FM and then say, hey, let's kind of change it up a little bit, well, that is we'll just say it, our shuffle version of music. We do have different hosts throughout the day that come out, hang out, and do all that kind of fun stuff over there, but it is a music source, and it goes through some stuff that goes out there and all that kind of fun stuff. So just keep that in mind as we are talking. Anyways, if you want to interact with the show, it's kind of an easy thing to do. The simple process of doing so is all you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get you exactly through our little system here, and it will put you through either the side of the house where you can do a video chat, an audio call, or actually get us in through our messaging system. I will tell you, I normally tend to look at the messaging system more than I look at the other two. Sorry about that, but it's just the honest stuff about what is going on. So let's start talking right away about what was trending, because that's going to be the important portion as we are talking. So let's talk about this. Neil Young and Buzz Aldrin were trending Wednesday on the historic anniversary of the two men walking on the moon. Dr. Dre, Dr. Doolittle, and Dr. Seuss were trending yesterday as Twitter users at DistyPop43 asked his followers to name the doctor whose medical advice his advice you clearly trust more than Dr. Oz, and those were the names that came up. Halloween Ends landed on Twitter's top 10 as Wednesday following the release of the first upcoming trailer. So people seem to be excited about that stuff. So keep that in mind as we are talking. So if you're not familiar with the show, kind of let me explain to you what goes on here, how we kind of do our sequence of event. It's kind of an easy stuff. And how we do this, we talk about safety in the news and safety. We bring in some professional broadcasters that will talk about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the news. Then I will jump back in, give you some Razi Da, and talk about what the hell I'm thinking about with some of the stuff that's coming up. We'll give you some versionality of a main story most of the times, and then go from there. Sounds like a cool thing? Cool. If that's the case, all you need to do is, if you want to interact, callinradio.com. We go from there, move forward from that. So with that said, let's get you started with what's going on inside of the world of the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
In NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The nation is being hit with a devastating heat wave, causing record temperatures across the country. As NBC's Sam Brock reports, the extreme weather is so widespread that 2 out of every 3 Americans have been dealing with temperatures above 90 degrees.
Some cities setting new daily highs. Dallas at 109, Albuquerque at 102, and Wichita Falls, Texas, a whopping 115.
On Wednesday, 28 states all issued heat warnings on the same day. The National Weather Service is also issuing their own excessive heat warnings in states like Arizona, California, Nevada, and several others. Heat advisories now stretch from the east to the west coast as debate continues about whether President Biden will declare climate change a national emergency. A federal appeals court has spoken and says Georgia's new heartbeat abortion law is in effect. Liz Kennedy reports.
The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals issued an opinion on Wednesday upholding Georgia's abortion law, which now bans abortions after a doctor detects a fetal heartbeat, usually around 6 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Brian Kemp had this to say following the ruling.
We are overjoyed that the court has paved the way for the implementation of Georgia's Life Act.
The ACLU of Georgia, among others, said they would do everything they could for abortion access across Georgia in the face of these harmful attacks on people's ability to control if and when to have a child.
The House committee investigating the January 6 attack on the Capitol is holding another primetime hearing today. Chairman Benny Thompson said they'll talk about what was going on at the White House and go over what then President Trump did, leaving his so-called Stop the Steal rally earlier that day. Committee aides have said Thompson will appear virtually at the hearing after testing positive for COVID this week. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Germany says Russia's turned gas supplies back on to the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. The 2 remaining candidates in the race to be next UK Prime Minister are turning their focus to winning over Conservative Party members. Reports suggest China's been lobbying the UN Human Rights Commission to try and stop the publication of its report on Xinjiang, and US President Joe Biden's announced new executive orders to combat climate change.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show.
I don't know why our host has a face for radio.
Rated R Safety Show.
With monkeypox cases on the rise, not only here in the U.S., but around the globe, the World Health Organization is set to hold an emergency meeting today. The goal is to determine whether to classify the outbreak as a global health emergency. Former Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb warned recently that the window for controlling the monkeypox outbreak in America has probably already closed, and the next stage is likely that it will become an endemic virus. Singer Ricky Martin will appear in court to testify in his own defense against abuse allegations from his nephew. Martin's 21-year-old nephew recently came forward and claims that he and Martin had a sexual relationship and that Martin had abused him. A judge in Puerto Rico granted the nephew a restraining order. Martin has vehemently denied the allegations and will testify virtually later on today. Martin's brother has come to his defense, saying their nephew has serious mental health issues and all of the claims are baseless. A pristine stretch of beachfront property in Southern California is being formally returned to the family of a black couple it was taken away from nearly a century ago. Trey Thomas reports.
Derek Bruce, a great-grandson of Charles and Willa Bruce, who originally bought the land, calls it a momentous occasion.
It represents a journey that our family has had, one that has been a long struggle, but one that we thought was something in the past.
The land was bought in 1912 and turned into a resort for black residents, but the city of Manhattan Beach wrongfully condemned the property in the 1920s.
The U.S. Postal Service says it will substantially increase its purchases of electric vehicles to replace its fleet of aging delivery trucks. The Postal Service now wants 50% of its initial buy of 50,000 next-generation vehicles to be electric. The leading edge of that new fleet should be rolling on delivery routes next year. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com, ONE.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, it can always be magical. You never know how it goes. Anyway, so let's start getting into it. It is 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, so taking it from the very top of the hit list, demand for mortgage hit the lowest level since the 2000s last week after dropping nearly 20% year over year. Steadily rising mortgage rates have helped to cool the white-hot sellers market. But wait, the Wall Street Journal reports that the median existing home price rose to $416,000 in June, a new record despite 5 months of declining home sales. Meanwhile, Ford says that they plan to cut up 8,000 jobs in the coming weeks in order to free up cash to invest in electric car technology. So, yeah, we're going to invest in some tech that we're not familiar with, and we're cutting 8,000 jobs. Does not sound like a great deal. But, hey, that's just kind of the way that it goes. So let's start talking real quick. The owner of a strip club in Providence, Rhode Island, says that he was robbed at gunpoint while he was in his office. The thief made off with $20,000 in $1 bills. The bandit has since then been arrested, and turns out it was one of his own employees of the establishment. No word on whether he worked in the entertainment or security division. So there you go. There you go. $20,000 in ones. I mean, think about that for a moment. That's a lot of, well, number one, $20,000 is a lot of money, regardless on however you cut it. But $20,000 in ones is, now you're talking about too much room in regards to carrying it. Not that you should ever rob anybody, period, but I mean, I'm just saying in general.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, a wild monkey is on the loose in Japan. Authorities have tried to capture the animal in the last 2 weeks and has been blamed for 18 attacks of humans, including an infant child. The child mother says that it appeared that the animal was trying to drag the baby away before she was able to chase the monkey out of the house. So how in the hell does the monkey get into the house is maybe the better question. I don't know. Just asking some stuff. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off because of what it is, but I'll try to give some descriptions here just in case if you want to take a look at it. An elementary school in Marietta, Georgia is facing backlash over a new logo that's awfully close to a Nazi Germany Imperial Eagle crest. Yep. That's what you heard me say right there. So it is Eastside Elementary that's doing this. The reps of the school district say the design was based on an insignia for the U.S. Army colonel, but they understand that it could be interpreted otherwise. Just last year, the neighborhood high school were faced with swastika graffiti, so the issue is rightfully remains in a particular sore subject in the area. Don't know. I think you're playing high stakes there. When you have something that resembles so closely something else, so try to play it as needed. That's the way to probably be best suited for it. That's for sure. Anyways, a Cambridge University study shows and suggested putting tobacco-style warnings on sweet treats and other unhealthy foods will help curb obesity. When consumers saw the warnings labels like on candy bar, they contributed a risk to heart disease, obesity, and cancer. 7 in 10 are more likely to opt for fruit without labels. 4 in 10 said that they picked the fruit option over candy. So let's talk about it. If all of a sudden now your favorite sweet treat, but boy, does a lot of come to mind, do you think that you would change what you're going to do there? If you had to take a look-see, and it looks like the older style, well, like they do in other countries, on the warning labels, and I'm talking about like the disgusting warning labels, like where you see like people's mouths rotting and all that are in tobacco. If you would see something like that obscure, would that be something that would tell you, this is not for me? I don't know. Just a question to think about. I mean, maybe that kind of imagery would make you change about some of the stuff that's going on. It does kind of bring into a line of subject on how you try to think about other things when you don't want other things to happen, but that's maybe a whole other story not to talk about. Anyways, before I get too deep into that, let's just bring in some John Smalls, let him tell us about the Market Beat.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, July 21st, 2022. The rebound in equities extended to a fifth day Wednesday and took the S&P 500 to a one-month high. The move, while bullish, appears to be losing steam, however, under the deluge of earnings reports. The earnings reports have been coming in better than expected, but much of the guidance has been weak. There is a chance the index has bottomed, but it looks to us like a retest of the recent lows is brewing. The latest read on existing home sales is another negative for the economy. The pace of existing home sales contracted on a month-to-month basis as prices and interest rates leave prospective buyers out of luck. Today's read of the Index of Leading Indicators may paint a different picture, but it looks like the economic contraction that began in the first quarter is gaining momentum. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that, letting us know exactly what is going on inside of that world. Let's give a little bit more of a breakdown here. The Dow added about 88 points on Wednesday to close at 31,878. The S&P added 28 points to close at 3,960, while the NASDAQ added 194 points to close at 11,897. Brent crude traded for $106 on Wednesday, while West Texas Intermediate traded at 102. The national average of the gallon of price of gas, or I can't even ever say that. The national average price of gallon of gas. How about we just go? The national price of gas was per gallon on average $4.46 on Wednesday. Bitcoin added more than $200 on Wednesday, trading at $23,600. And there was 2,274 flight delays within, into, or out of the United States on Wednesday, with 159 cancellations. And I'm sure that this heat wave has not helped out too much on what the hell's going on there, for sure, as you are moving around and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's start talking about some other things going on inside of this world, because it is always awesome to talk about. So let's start talking about this real quick. Army expected to miss recruiting goals this year. The Army says that it's a tight labor market and a tough eligibility standards mean that they're likely to miss the recruiting goals for 2022. I have Mark Mayfield to talk a little bit more about it.
Army officials told Congress this week that the total size of the military branch's active duty arm will be 10,000 fewer soldiers than had been anticipated at the start of the year. Army officials blame the big drop in recruiting on the tight post-COVID labor market and rising incentives that private companies are paying their workers. The Army also said on Tuesday that the percentage of young Americans who are eligible to meet recruiting standards has fallen from 29% to 23%. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Okay, thank you, Mark, for that one, letting us know what exactly is going on there. Anyways, Virginia State University is offering aspiring teachers free tuition. It's free tuition to Virginia State University for those who want to become a teacher. Kathy White has more info.
Teacher shortages have been causing headaches for many administrators across the Commonwealth. To help address the issue, Virginia State University has initiated a program that will offer free tuition for people pursuing a degree in education. Students must become full-time substitute teachers in the Richmond area to qualify. Several school districts in Virginia are feeling the pressure as they deal with staff shortages heading into another academic year. I'm Kathy White.
Okay, thank you, Kathy, for that one. So let me ask you, would you consider now becoming a teacher and moving to Virginia if you had the opportunity of doing so? Just a question, as it is coming about and around. Anyways, the Russian gas supply to Europe has resumed in Nord Stream pipeline. Take a listen to what Mark has to say.
The Wall Street Journal says natural gas started flowing again on Thursday through the biggest single pipeline from Russia to Germany. A spokesman for Nord Stream AG says the pipeline is still in the process of restarting and it could take a few hours, but gas is flowing. The Nord Stream pipeline had been shut down for maintenance since July 11th. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Hold on, it was closed down for like 10 days to get everything moving and grooving? That sounds like some pressure points for sure. Anyways, a soldier is dead and 9 more injured after a lightning strike at an Army post in Georgia. Trey Thomas has more.
It happened Wednesday at Fort Gordon, which is about 10 miles southwest of Augusta. A base spokeswoman said the injured soldiers had been taken to the hospital, but that she was unaware of their conditions. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Trey, for sharing the information. You know, what do you do when lightning strikes are occurring and all that kind of fun stuff? If you take a look around, you definitely don't want to hang out under a tree. We already kind of know this, so let's start talking. Anyways, emergency WHO meeting is set for monkeypox spread, with the monkeypox cases on the rise, not here only in the U.S., but around the globe. The World Health Organization is set to hold an emergency meeting today. Let's listen into what Trey Thomas has to say about this.
The goal is to determine whether to classify the outbreak as a global health emergency. Former Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb warned recently that the window for controlling the monkeypox outbreak in America has probably already closed, and the next stage is likely that it becomes an endemic virus. I'm Trey Thomas.
So now the question becomes, what the hell is going to happen with that? What do we get to do during that section? Maybe that's something to talk about. Anyways, the House Judiciary Committee is advancing its bill that would ban assault rifles. Let's listen to some more Trey Thomas.
The committee approved the assault weapons ban of 2021 in a 25-18 vote on Wednesday. Democrats do not appear to have support from their colleagues across the aisle, and it's almost certain the proposal would fail in the Senate if it advanced in the House. It's unclear when and if it'll be brought to the House floor for a vote. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thank you for sharing that information. We'll take a look exactly what happens here in the next little bit, because that's always going to be some important information. Anyways, 27 minutes past the top of the hour, just in case if you were wondering what the hell's going on in regards to timeline, that's what's happening. Anyways, devastating heat wave is coming across the United States, and the nation is being hit with a devastating heat wave that is causing record temperatures across the country.
2 out of every 3 Americans have been dealing with temperatures above 90 degrees. 83-year-old Eva Kupar in Houston has seen her energy bill spike up nearly 200%.
Well, I run fans. We don't even run the AC because it's just too expensive.
28 states issued heat warnings on Wednesday. I'm Trey Thomas.
So there you go. I mean, I will tell you, it is hotter than hell. It seems like in most places, depending on where you're hanging out, that is for sure. So what are you seeing out there in your neck of the woods? Because that's going to be the important portion. Or how well are you keeping yourself hydrated and the people around you? Because that's going to be the other portion. Because we tend to forget, and hey, the hydration thing plays a factor, especially if you're outside. Especially if you're outside for long periods of time. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick. An Oxford police arrested and suspect of a March bank robbery after about 4 months on the run. The man behind the bars on suspicion of the robbery of a bank in Oxford. Take a listen.
Police say the 59-year-old man robbed the CBC Federal Credit Union at gunpoint on March 11th, just before closing time. He allegedly hopped over the counter, walked up to the manager, and demanded cash. The manager complied, and the man took off. Police spotted the man outside of a home on Wednesday morning and made the arrest. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that one, letting us know exactly what's going on right there. Anyways, take a listen to this real quick. Wyoming Public Safety defends plate reading cameras. Wyoming Public Safety is defending the license plate reading cameras that it has set up throughout the city. Captain Eric Wilder says that the 12 cameras are in 6 locations.
We're looking at 4 or 5 months now that we've been using them. In that time, we've recovered 13 stolen vehicles, and we've also made 19 arrests.
Wilder says that the cameras have also helped him to find the missing dementia patient. They do not record vehicle speeds and don't have facial recognition technology. Data is kept just for 30 days. So the Wyoming Public Safety Captain Eric Wilder also says that because they have recovered the stolen vehicles, thanks to the license plate cameras.
It was a tool that we recognized that would really help us and help provide some safety to our community and solving some crimes, preventing some crimes. The cameras are about $2,500 a piece per year.
So you know that people are probably asking a lot of questions about that. So that's going to be the stuff that, you're going to have to talk about what's going on inside of the world, because that plays a big factor into it. Anyways, neighbors and friends of the 12-year-old Kean Davis have held a vigil for him outside of his home, where his 13-year-old cousin accused of shooting and killing him on Tuesday night. Monte Emery's son would play often with Davis and his cousin, that she says that he doesn't completely realize that he has lost 2 friends in the shooting.
It is a sad situation that could have been avoided if parents will put away their guns.
The boy's cousin is charged with manslaughter for the shooting. Monday Emeron's son also used to play with Kenyon Davis, his cousin. Take a listen.
And I don't think that my son realized what happened. It's not one friend you're losing, it's two. One friend is being in the court system, and one is under the ground.
So a lot of information going on right there. It's terrible to hear that kind of news for sure as we are talking. It's roughly about 31 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's get moving and grooving right away and start talking about what the heck is going on in our main story today.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So, as you know, as we have been talking this week for the most part, we talked about having some kind of level of safety as you are moving into this industry. We talked about the things that people don't want you to know about because that's the important portion as well. So, you have to have some kind of foundation as you're getting into this, as we talked about. Talked about the book Simple Revolutionary Acts to pretty much get you started and moving as you are going. The next portion that we talked about was Safety Sucks. Yep, that's exactly what we talked about. Sam Goodwin's book and about the stuff, or as it's worded there, the shit that they don't want to tell you about. And it's really about how you're going in through the industry and all that. So where would we go next? Of course, yesterday, as I said, yesterday was rerun day, so apologize about that. But where would we go next? Where would we go next in the sequence of events of the stuff that we're talking about? Well, I guess that's kind of where we get into some of this stuff that we can really take a look into. Because what do you do now? What do you do now as you're moving and things are going forward and you're progressing and something happens? And when I say something happens, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in that one. Like, what do I mean if something happens? Well, what do I mean? Well, there's a lot of stuff. We can talk about an injury. We can talk about a catastrophic event. We can talk about major fatalities, major crises that occur inside of your organization, a major system failure. Because here's the thing. A lot of time we talk about our subject matter of safety, and I think that there's this false sense that this is something that you obtain. You never truly obtain safety. You don't ever truly get to a point and go, we are the safest that we'll ever be, and that's it. Or we have hit the mecca of being safe. That just doesn't happen. It's not the way that it works. It is something that you're always moving towards. It's something that you're always moving to. So, as we get to go around and talk to people and hang out and do the stuff that we get to do here, it's always interesting when you start talking and you listen to people on their definition of safety. And how you have the definition of what they believe it is. And that's why I think foundations are very important. But you have to almost go into that definition that safety is not the absence of accidents. It is the presence of controls. Because right now, if you are in a system or work somewhere where it only has a single point of failure, so that the only thing between the whole system collapsing and things going terribly wrong is the operator, you don't have controls. You don't have a system that's set up to move forward. I mean, if that one person fails, everything goes boom. It goes bye-bye. It goes down. Not a good system. And the funny thing is that we tend to forget that some of the people that are the biggest experts that of what is going on inside of the world, on what you do work-wise, work there inside of the organization that you're at. And you might sit there and go, no, you're wrong, but now think about this real quick. They have done the work for X period of time, depending on, how long the org has been there. And they know what are the ins and outs of the systems. The funny part is that you can sit back with most of the people that you work with that work inside of the lines or that actually do the actual work, where you can ask them based on what you know and what you have seen, where is the next catastrophe that's going to occur? Where is the next failure that's going to occur inside of the system? And they can tell you pretty well what exactly is going to happen. They can tell you almost immediately where it is. Now, listen, we have to always look at this and talk about the whole portion of when you ask people these questions, it's not about the aha moment. It's they already know the system. And this is what we're trying to change in regards of how do you put the controls there? Think about it for a moment. Think about the controls that are in place on different things that you do. Like, think about an electrical outlet in regards of how they actually have the GFC mechanism inside of it for it to automatically trip if something goes wrong. That way you don't have anything that goes bad normally inside of your electrical panel, or even the panel will actually trip itself. There's some other things that are there, so it's not for you to automatically notice that, hey, I need to unplug this. Hey, I need something else to occur. So these are the things that you should consider as you're building out the system, as you are looking at what happens if something major occurs. Talk to the people that are there. And listen, I'm not telling you anything that is mind-boggling or changing the world. It's stuff to talk about that we'll take it into the simplest terms. People that normally work inside of your organization are subject matter experts at what's going on inside of your organization. I can tell you, I can walk into a room full of operators and I am officially the dumbest person in the room, because they will understand what is going on inside of your workplace better than I ever will. Stuff to think about. So as you are forming your committees and doing your safety stuff inside of your organization, think about the operators that should be portion of your safety committee to be able to move forward. Stuff to think about today, that's for sure.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
The WorkWise Summit is an interactive 2-day gathering that will bring like-hearted leaders together like never before as we discuss ways to better align HR, safety, and operations around one common goal: creating the future of work together. Day 1 will focus on self-performance with talks with leading experts on how to live and lead at our best. Day 2 will focus on organizational performance with discussions on what we can do together to break down silos and foster action. The Work Summit will take place at Coker Tire Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Thursday, September the 22nd and Friday, September the 23rd. For more information, go to worksbees.com/Y Summits. That's WORKZBE.com Y Summit. So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms. Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain, What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you. It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM. Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you. Minutes past the top of the hour. This is Be Strong by Nightcap. Getting serious over here. You know how it is with this techno stuff. I keep it locked. So there you go. This song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go too long with this because that's just kind of how it goes. So we'll slow it down. Thanks to Nightcap for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. For us to be able to do all of this fun stuff here. So there you go. Oh, yeah, a little bit more, Okay, I'll stop, I swear. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the most important thing that you'll ever hear me talk about at any point that we get to hang out, and that's about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences for people in your local communities whose life has been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call or text 988. Yes, that's it, 988. Couple of different ways to do this as well. So you got the 988 option to do. The other portion is you can go to afsp.org. That's afsp.org. But texting the word, texting 988 or calling 988, or you can still even use the older style numbers, 741-741, to text the word talk to, or not talk to, but just the word talk. You can do that or go to afsp.org. Listen, there's all kinds of great information and resources there. You can learn how to make a difference inside of your community. Also, learn how to join a local chapter and hear real stories about what is going on inside of this all-important subject matter. So keep that in mind as we are talking. You never know when you might need this information. That is for sure, as we are talking on this lovely Thursday, as it is 46 minutes past the top of the hour. So listen, at the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out as we do the music side of the house. If not, you can actually keep it locked right here on Safety FM and take a listen to what is going on inside of the world of safety. That is for sure. Anyways, let's talk about some exercise lives real quick. More than 7 in 10, or 73% of us, want to increase their physical activity to keep up with their children. A recent study polled of 2,000 U.S. adults see how they're staying active as their routines and lifestyles have undergone drastic change over the past 2 years. Only about half of the responders, 51%, said that they can touch their toes without straining. The good news is that people are looking to change their habits, with 70% making more effort to be physically active than they have started before the start of the pandemic. Conducted by one poll, the survey said that 42% struggle with physical activity during the day. During the day, what are you doing? Physical activity at night? Oh, I get it now. Lack of motivation, 39%, and 30% have injuries, or among the hurdles of the top of the list. However, the biggest obstacle is joint pain and arthritis, 42%. The average person reports that they are taking about 3,800 steps per day, roughly 1/3 of the recommended 10,000. Obviously, some people don't have children that require us to chase them all day long, like some of us. And then touch my toes. I'd be happy if I could see my toes. Maybe that's some stuff to think about as we are talking about this. That is for sure.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about some more tech talk real quick. Multitaskers everywhere can rejoice because YouTube is going to allow you to do other things on your phone while still watching videos. We've all had the moment where we are trying to watch a video while attempting to text, and at the same time, the problem is that when one door opens, another one's not. Those days are officially over, thanks to a new picture-in-picture mode that will allow users to watch videos while on a floating window while performing other activities on their iPhone or iPad. YouTube made the announcement on Twitter saying that the feature will slowly be rolling out to YouTube on iPhone and iPad, and just like on Android, it will be available for premium members worldwide and non-premium users in the U.S. and for non-music related. So your move. Insta. So there you go. Let's see. A new patent that shows that Apple has been working on adding lasers to the future iPhone, an Apple Watch. For what? Who the hell knows? Well, it's not a personal weaponry system, but it's pretty exciting that you could add some extraordinary features to some of your electronics. Horizontal cavity surface emitting laser that can be used as functionally as a biometric, referring to the capability of a Face ID or Touch ID, and perhaps leading to the return of the Touch ID to the future iPhones. But they would also be used for the detection of particularly for enabling the device to report air quality when in combination with a photo detector, according to the new patent. It also is possible the laser could be used for fitness apps to help pursue wellness goals in conjunction with the device camera or gaming apps. So the real laser in a video game, and you thought that those birds were angry before. I mean, just wait to see what the hell happens next.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get in some John Smalls real quick and let him tell us about what is going on inside of the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Charlie. John Lennon said, "Life is what happens while you're making..."
Oh, that's not good. Nothing better than something cutting out midterm.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by LSMorgan.com. You have heard about the importance of not eating at night and having your last meal or evening snack 3 hours before.
Well, apparently my computer system is just not liking me today. That's just kind of the way that it goes. It has cut out on everything. So we'll continue moving and grooving. Sorry about that. Don't know what to do. If the audio program is not working on that end, I can't do much of anything else about it. But hey, we're still here. That's the important portion. And this is what I love about live radio. Anyway, let's continue talking. Let's talk about Did You Know? A Canadian couple, both 100 years old, celebrated their 80th wedding anniversary last week. Lifelong lovebirds Charlie and Annie Moose celebrated with a party with at their daughter's place, then returned home to the house that they bought together 75 years ago for $2,000. In Yarmouth County, near the southern tip of Nova Scotia, the couple were wedded on July the 13th of 1942. To put that in perspective, that is the same day that Harrison Ford was born. So just some stuff to think about, and just kind of giving you some math sequence there, just for some stuff to talk about. That is for sure. Anyways, let's take a look at some other things that are going on inside of the world as we are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Take a listen to this real quick. Ventura County coronavirus numbers in several key metrics have increased this week. Daniel Martindale has more information.
There are now 87 people with COVID-19 in county hospitals, 8 more than last week. 7 are in intensive care, and 3 more deaths have been reported, all among fully vaccinated people. The 7-day average case rate per 100,000 residents is up from 34.5 to more than 40 cases. Only one metric improved this week. The 7-day positivity rate dropped from 16.3 to 15.8%. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel Martindale, for letting us know what is going on there. That's definitely some intriguing information as we are talking. So that is going to be something else to be on the lookout for as we are talking and moving. So what do you think about that as you are taking a listen to this? Interesting stuff, definitely for sure going on. Anyways, the Chicago City Council is taking action to help police crack down on drag racing and drifting in the city. Alderman Brendan Rowley supported the ordinance that will allow police to use picture and video evidence and license plate detectors to track down vehicles for drag racing.
If you have solid evidence that a vehicle's been used in drag racing or drifting incident, and it's well documented, the owner of that car does not need to be present when that vehicle is towed.
So the measure was approved by Alderman yesterday, and it will allow, it will also impose harsher fines for drifting and drag racing. I mean, I wonder when you start looking at stuff like that, how many people are going to start going, well, I wasn't driving the car at the time, and you have no proof of it. Because that's going to be a portion of the conversation. Let's not pretend like it's not going to be. Just kind of the way that it goes from time to time. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on. No winner for Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing. Friday night's drawing will be for $630 million or $359.7 million cash payout. So however you want to take a look at that, that will be interesting to see if you play that kind of game. If you don't play it, it's kind of a pointless subject, and I just waste your time every time that I mention it. Think about it. It's the truth as we are talking. Anyways, if you're looking at some birthdays that are going on today, Jessica Barton turns 30. Let's see. Diana Guerrero turns 36. Rebecca Ferguson turns 36. Let's see. Palomar of Faith turns 41. Romeo Santos, 41. Josh Hartnett, 44. And Cat Stevens turns 74 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate today, well, today is National Junk Food Day. Well, I almost feel like depending on where you hang out, that could be a celebration that occurs every day, just kind of taking a look at what is going on. Anyways, if you're looking for some whack facts, I got some of those for you. The sounds that from a human yell could take 3.5 hours to travel from New York to San Francisco. A man once survived on a pizza alone for 25 years. Hold on. So did he die at like year 26? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. Just asking some questions. The longest ever wedding veil was on the same length of 63.5 football fields. How the hell did you drag that thing around? I want to know that. Anyways, E is the most common letter appearing in 11% of English words. Pringles aren't actually potato chips, but they can't be labeled as such because they aren't made of thinly sliced potatoes, but dehydrated potato flakes. There's some stuff that you probably did not know. Should we call this whack-fast or useless knowledge? You inhale about 700,000 of your own skin flakes daily. I mean, that's encouraging. Just to take a listen to. Anyways, if you need some scoops of BS, I have some of those as well. A Florida man landed a small plane in a 4-lane North Carolina road, missing cars and power lines. As he touched down, he was immediately hired by Delta. A Georgia man was arrested after getting stuck in a vent while trying to break into a pizza parlor. He'll have multiple court appearances, serve jail time, and is expected to pay some heavy fines. They call this the domino effect. I'm sure you've heard that Ben Affleck and J-Lo got married over the weekend, so it's nice to see that a vain, womanizing, self-centered guy catch a break for once. Let's see, Comic-Con on San Diego begins today. Comic-Con is always full of geeks and nerds. Here's the difference between geeks and nerds. The geeks giggle and hear when he hears the words boobies, and a nerd just snickers. A Florida man was interrupted when an iguana popped its head out of the toilet using the reptile that found that the toilet, it's not a turd. So there you go. Probably some stuff that you probably did not want to hear this morning.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Anyways, if you need a random joke for today, I got one of those. I love my wife no matter what she does, but why does she always have to do so much of it? If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What time period do you wish you were born in, and why? If you need something for the water cooler, try this. Question. 36% of us order this at a restaurant because it is almost never make it home. What is it? A salad. A salad. Yeah, most people don't make a salad at home. Anyways, thank you for taking a listen to the Rated R Safety Show, because we could not do what we do around here without you, the most important part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Like I said earlier, if you want to come and hang out, as I will be going over to radiobig.fm exclusively, you're more than welcome on doing so. Thank you for coming out and hanging out this morning, of course. Anyways, if I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Think about it. It will change the way that you look at life. That is for sure. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.